Welcome to Groove Diner After Dark. Hey, it's Super Bowl weekend. It was. Today's Monday, so yesterday was Super Bowl. Wow. First of all, what a great game. I don't know if you didn't watch it or you did, but if you didn't, you missed a really great football game. I'm a big fan, as many of you know, of all things excellence, whatever it might be, whether it's production quality of a show like this, or music, or sports. If someone is really pushing to be their best, I'm a fan. So I see people talking a lot about, I didn't watch the game. Okay, well, good for you. But you kind of blew it by not watching people who have chosen to excel in their life. It's amazing to watch some of the things these people are capable of. I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Congratulations to the Chiefs. You know, I was more the kind of an Eagles guy yesterday because there's so many Bama alums on the Eagles. So, you
I
know.
was going for the Chiefs.
Were you? See, I don't know if I can keep Eli in the room now. But we'll find that out too later on. Depends on how much he messes with me later. Anyway, the big discussion has been about the music, the pregame music, the halftime show. Pregame, Sheryl Lee Ralph absolutely killed. So did Chris Stapleton. These two songs are such celebrations, and I really enjoyed Babyface's version of America the Beautiful too. I really think they did such a great job, all three of them, with different emotions and different feelings, all of them performing their style to the absolute peak of their ability. It was tremendous to me. Then there's the halftime show. It brings up so many questions, doesn't it? First of all, the halftime show has kind of become a spectacle. It's not really a concert, it's a spectacle. It's Cirque du Soleil. And from that perspective, I thought it was amazing. 10 out of 10. Beautiful. Let me ask you a question. How many pregnant women do you know that can do 13 songs or 14 songs in 13 minutes while suspended 150 feet above the floor of a giant stadium? I'm going to give her full props on that. Rihanna was great at even being willing to do that. I was blown away by the idea of the halftime performance. The dancers, dancing has always been something that rubs people. It's either great or terrible or provocative or vulgar or beautiful. And it all depends on where you're coming from with your thoughts on that. I am married to a dancer, and she thought it was tremendous. I kind of defer to her most of the time with that sort of thing because I watch dancing and go, I don't get it. But that's me. She watches dancing and she goes, wow. Whether it was last night's style or ballet, which is really her thing, she can appreciate different styles. So can I. And that's true of music as well. Rihanna's songs are not really my favorite. I think they all fall kind of into a narrow window stylistically from key change perspective. They're all kind of close. Tempos, it's a chill thing. Was it great? I don't know. You tell me. Was it great? Was it terrible? I don't know. You tell me. I don't really think it was either great or terrible. I think it was good. I'd give it a 7. 7 out of 10. That's not a bad halftime show. So we need to respect, I think, the amount of effort that goes into a show that huge in an environment like that, where just 5 minutes earlier, the biggest football game in the world is happening. 5 minutes ago, they've got this giant production now on the stage. The number of people that are employed to do that, the number of people it takes to do that is staggering. The amount of rehearsal, staggering. So, whether you loved it or hated it, or thought it was pretty good, or didn't really move you, it's almost irrelevant because the halftime show is tremendous and it's something that I would love to be part of myself. Let's celebrate each other, the differences that make us the same. That's what it's really all about. Rihanna, congratulations on a great show. That's really all that matters. She did her thing and she did it very, very well. And with that, let's get into Groove Diner After Dark. Tonight's guest, Stephen Kramer Glickman. This is a fun one. Be right back.
This episode is brought to you by HearBack Pro from Hear Technologies. The ability to hear yourself clearly in a recording or live situation is key to delivering your best, most creative performance. The HearBack Pro system, made up of a hub and individual mixers, allows performers in a session or on a gig the ability to dial in exactly what they need to hear in order to be their best. If you're looking for a solution to allow yourself or your clients to hear themselves better, check out HearBack Pro from Hear Technologies.
You know, Charles, you're not wrong, my friend. Welcome to Groove Diner After Dark. Hey, look, it's live. We do what we can with the live. I'm so glad to see everybody here already. Wow, what a great show we have in store for you tonight. It's going to be an absolute blast. I think you're going to really have fun. There was a lot of laughter in this interview with Stephen Kramer Glickman. Welcome to everybody that I see chiming in already. James Brantley, he says, great point. Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about the halftime show. I see quite a few people are joining us now. Thank you so much. Hey, Chris Ware, nice to see you out here, man. Justin Scheidling's here from New York City. Good to see you here, my friend. I'm seeing so many people joining us now. I don't even know. Wow, I can't keep up. That's really great. Tonight's episode, Stephen Kramer Glickman. Lots of you have tuned in to see Stephen with good reason. We know each other pretty well. We're friends. We play together. We make music together. We definitely get into that in the interview, and I think you're going to really enjoy some of the chemistry and the way that we play off of each other. Stephen's a really super talented guy and a great human being. I really enjoy hanging out with him, and whenever we get a chance to. In fact, it's fun to just go eat hot wings once in a while. I will say this about the Super Bowl. I didn't cover this earlier. Quite a few of you have asked me, did I have any of my music compositions in the Super Bowl this year? I did not. I typically end up with some stuff in quite a few football games across the course of a season, and I've had more than a few pieces of music in the Super Bowl in years gone by. This year, because it was on Fox, I was hoping that I might, but in fact, there was nothing of mine, unfortunately, in the Super Bowl this year. Hopefully next year. Or the year after that, because it does vary depending on who's producing it and what network and all of those things. But thank you for asking, and certainly if I had some music in there, we'd be playing it right now so that you guys could hear it and go, oh, that was cool. I didn't know that was him. So anyway, we're going to jump in. It's kind of a quick intro into the interview with Stephen because we were just rolling. We were just chit-chatting, and Eli rolled cameras, and he looked at me and goes, we're live. And I went, okay. So let's, we just kind of, we're there with it right off the top. So enjoy this, and we'll see you on the other side of part one to have a little more chat. Roll that thing, Eli.
Rolling.
So let's dive right into this thing, man, because your career path has been really interesting and Canadian.
Let's
start there.
Sure.
Canada to LA. How did that happen? When did that happen?
Ran away from home. I was 5 years old.
You and your dog.
Yeah, me and my dog. We moved to San Diego in 1985.
What made that happen?
It was family got a new job. There was like a new job happening in the world. So my whole family, we all moved out to California. And it was weird, big difference from Canada.
Sure.
A lot of different value system in a lot of ways, and also like just a lot of crazy stuff. Like the 80s
in California,
were something else. Like I remember coming to Los Angeles in like 1986 with my family. We were driving in the car, and we were coming up, and we got to about Wilshire, and there was a car on the side of the road, smoke pouring out of it, punks with mohawks and spiky crazy hair sitting all over the car and waiting for it to cool down. And I looked at one of the punk guys, and I waved. I was like 6,
of course,
and I waved, and he flipped me off. and I was like, he did the bad finger. And my mom was like, "This is LA. Welcome to LA." And what I do kind of love about living in LA is that like, whenever someone says welcome to LA, it means that something horrible has happened to you. And if someone says welcome to Hollywood, it means you've had like a crazy, bizarre, funny experience.
That's exactly right.
It really is true. Like get mugged by a 7 foot tall
rabbit.
Exactly.
That's a welcome to LA.
That's welcome to LA.
Yeah, sure.
And then if Corey Feldman cuts you in line, I was once in line.
To me.
Oh yeah, right.
That very thing happened to me. That's hysterical.
I was in line once on a Jewish holiday, Yom Kippur, where you have to fast for the day, and so it was the night before, and I was in line at Ralph's. And
that's a supermarket.
It's a supermarket. Thank you. And the guy the guy from the O.J. Simpson trial that lived in his house.
Kato Kaelin.
Kato Kaelin
Yeah.
was in front of me in line, and he goes, "Hey Glickman, what are you getting?" And I go, "I'm getting lifesavers."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, that's cool. Why?" I go, "Oh, because tomorrow's Yom Kippur, and I like to keep lifesavers in my suit just in case I get low blood sugar. I can have a lifesaver, just my own little thing."
Right.
And he goes, "Is that allowed in the Yom Kippur laws?" And I was like, "Why don't you shut up, K.O. Kaelin? Mind your business." like it was just like one of those. I got in the car. I'm like, what is my life?
What did that happen?
Like,
Yeah, right.
not even that just the fact that him and I know each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then that we would have an interaction like this. It was so. I love this stupid town so much. It's so dumb and full of ridiculous people.
I love LA. I don't think there's anywhere I'd rather live. I just love it here, and people tend to either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome to me to hear that you're a guy that gets it.
Yeah.
By the way, my Ralph's story was Farrah Fawcett.
No way.
Yeah, right. About 2 years before she passed away, I was in line, and she was directly in front of me, and she was looking at one of the tabloids, and she was on the cover of it. And I said, "You look better in person." And she turned around and she goes, "Why, thank you." And she was super sweet, so kind.
Oh, I
and she bought her thing, and she gave me a little pat on the shoulder. So I had my moment, my Farrah Fawcett moment at Ralph's.
Yeah. It's the whole point of being here is to be a part of a very, very bizarre place that people struggle to come to. And then sometimes they last here for a couple of years. Sometimes they don't. I mean, I've been here since 1997.
Wow. Yeah.
And bounced back and forth between here and New York City since 97. So,
Sure. Wow.
I mean, this has always been my home, though. I love New York. I love New York. But this is where I found, the most... all my friends are here.
Yeah,
this
sure.
Is my home base.
I'm from Mississippi, and I kind of felt like a Californian as a teenager in Mississippi. There was something that resonated about it for me. So when we moved out here, suddenly I felt like I was home.
Yeah.
I found my people here.
I get that. Yeah.
And that's what's so cool about it is that it's such an inclusive. It's an inclusive place where it doesn't matter how weird you are or how normal you are, you can find your people.
Absolutely.
And it's an odd thing when you don't come from that environment to suddenly land in an environment where you're completely accepted for whoever you are.
Yeah. One of the things that I like to do here too is I'll try to push sometimes and be like when I was in high school, I wanted to wear a top hat. And
Because of course you did.
Because of course.
Yeah.
And so I tried. It did not go super well.
I wouldn't think.
As you can imagine. And so now as an adult, if I'm like, you know what, today I'm going to wear giant glasses.
You do that.
I'll do it. I'll wear something a little outlandish, or I'll dress a little more flamboyantly bizarre, or do whatever.
Right.
Just because I'm like, you know what, why not wear a light up jacket to a party? Let's just go for it a little bit, because if I was living, there's a lot of places I've been in this country and around the world that just, it wouldn't fly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's nice to be able to have that kind of freedom here and
Absolutely.
express yourself.
Right.
The way you express yourself.
You're hired.
Thank you.
Yes. You and I have something else in common
Yes.
that I don't think you know.
Uh-oh.
Certified mama's boys. You do
Facts.
everything with your mom.
Facts on facts, dude. 100%.
She seems like she's this awesome human, and you just dig her.
I do. I dig my mom so much. I talked to her on the way here.
Yeah, I'm sure. See,
of
exactly.
course. Yeah. If I don't talk to her once a day,
Yeah.
I start going, what the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Sometimes she'll call me 5 times in a day.
Right.
And you're just like, all right, but she's so funny and so weird. And we just had a very funny thing happen where I was in San Diego and we're hanging out late. And she lives in San Diego, so I was hanging out. And I go, hey, you want to watch a movie? You know, she's like, yeah, let's watch a movie. So we start watching the new West Side Story.
Oh, yeah.
Steven Spielberg.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on my queue. In my queue.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
And I like the cast and stuff, but we get into it for a little bit. She wasn't into it. She wanted to turn it off. So we're like, all right. So we turn it off. She goes, What about Pinocchio? I go, okay. So we watched about 4 minutes of Pinocchio. Little hard watch. If you're not in the mood for it, it's not the right thing. Turn it off. I go, I got a good one for you. She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
I'm in love with She-Hulk.
So great.
Yes.
So I'm like, She-Hulk, by the way, written by Jessica Gao. Jessica Gao wrote Big Time Rush, the TV show that I was on.
Okay.
So I was very excited. So we start watching She-Hulk. A couple minutes into it, my mom goes, hang on. Why is the Incredible Hulk wearing glasses and talking? I go, oh, because he's Smart Hulk.
Yes,
she goes, he's what? I go, he's Smart Hulk now. She goes, what the hell are you talking about? I go, he's mixed the two. He's both now. He's the Hulk and he's Bruce Banner. He's combined them. She goes, oh, he's combined them. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Oh, when did this happen? I go, it happened in Infinity. You know what? Let's stop She-Hulk. Let's watch Infinity War. Turn on Infinity War. Get ready to bleep. Turn on Infinity War. Start watching. She goes, what is the purple thing? I go, that's Thanos. She goes, Thermos? I go, Thanos, Mom. She goes, who is that? I go, he's got the Infinity Stones. She goes, he's got what is happening? I go, we've watched Marvel movies. She goes, I don't know what is happening. What? And then, she's, oh, there's the Hulk, and the Hulk fights Thanos, gets his ass kicked. Right. And then he lands on the ground, and then Heimdall calls the Rainbow Bridge thing, right? Yeah. And the Rainbow Bridge picks up Hulk and flies him on a Rainbow Bridge. And my mom, out loud, my 71-year-old mom goes, what the is this I was like, I guess we should stop watching this. And then she turns to me and she goes, you don't talk about this to women, do you? I go, no. She goes, Stephen, if you want to stay single the rest of your life, you'll watch out. This is the kind of stuff that leads to that. And my mom loves superheroes. Like she loves Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. Right. But and this is kind of a sad thing for me, is that my whole life, I was like, my mom loves Star Wars. She loves Marvel. She loves all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I think, pretty sure, she was just doing that for me.
For you?
Yeah. So I tried to make her watch some Star Wars thing, and she was like, had that little look in her eye that's like, so nice. Look what we're doing, But I did get her into Mandalorian, and we watched like a bunch of episodes. Sure. And it was cool. But that's really cool. It's tricky. What about you? What's your relationship like with your mom?
My mom's the greatest person that ever lived on the face of the planet, and your mom is fighting for second place, and all of those things. How dare you? It's all those things. That's who my mom is. Yeah. Wow. To know my mom is to love my mom. That's absolutely true. She's 87, actually. Wow. Yeah, and in fact, I'm going to see her in 2 days. I'm leaving to go for a week to spend a little time with my mama.
Oh, that's so nice.
Just because I want to go see my mama.
Oh, that's where's she at?
She's in Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I'm headed south.
Whenever I go back home to visit my mom in San Diego, she runs a petting zoo.
Oh wow.
So her backyard she got a pig. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's a sheep and goat in the backyard. Mm-hmm. She always has chickens, tons of chickens, and rabbits. And sometimes her horse will come and stay in the backyard. She has a stall for it in the backyard. Sure. So there's always kind of a sense of like being in another sort of
interesting.
Like she'll go, "Can you go feed an orange to the pig?" And I'll be like, I mean, sure. Yeah, totally. And I'll go outside and,
that's funny.
Give the pig an orange.
Right. Wow. That's pretty great. I kind of love that, honestly. A lot of motorcycles in my world back home. We're definitely, we live in town. Okay. So it's a neighborhood. And we've always had motorcycles upon motorcycles upon motorcycles right there. 2 motorcycle helmets on the top shelf.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm a big motorcycle guy. So I got that growing up, and still to this day, my nieces and nephews and whatnot, everybody that's around, there's almost always 10 or 11 motorcycles in the garage in the back. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And kind of go do your thing.
That's really cool.
Right?
That's really cool.
Yeah. A lot of off-road riding to be done, which is very different than desert riding out here.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
Let's circle back for a second. Let's talk a little bit about your career. Shrek
Yes, sure.
on
Yeah.
Broadway. You were already living out here?
Yeah, I was the doorman at the Comedy Store
Okay.
and the phone operator
On Sunset.
On Sunset.
Mhm.
And a guy named Eric Marino, who ended up going on to write for SNL,
Mhm.
came to my office where I was answering phones,
Yeah.
and was like, "Hey, you should audition for the Shrek musical." And he was like, "No, dude, they're having auditions. You should go down." And I was like, "No, I'm good." And I blew it off and said no. And then 3 months later, he came again to the office and was like, "Dude, they're having the auditions again.
Right.
You should really go." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I told my little sister, and she was like, "You have to go."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I am not like, I've moved on from doing musical theater. I grew up doing musical theater.
course.
I went to school for musical theater, and now I'm like, I'm done with it. I don't need to do it anymore."
Right.
And everyone was like, no, you gotta go. And so I went to the open call because I was non-equity, and I waited in line I sat in a room with like 100 fat guys.
All right.
And did not smell great in that room. Okay. And
It smelled like Shrek.
Oh, it smelled like Shrek. It smelled like a swamp. And I sat there with all these dudes, and some guy turned to me and said, "What are you singing?" And I said, "Bare Necessities" from Jungle Book. I figured physically big animated
Of course.
character,
Yeah.
similar. And he was like, "Dude, this is a rock musical." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, it's a rock musical. I'm seeing Meatloaf." And I was like, "Oh, damn it." So I go out to my car, and I had like some sheet music in my trunk,
Right.
as you do.
As
when
you
you're,
do, right.
A musical
Look,
type person.
Kids, when you come to LA, have sheet music in your trunk.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
continue.
At the time I was the piano player for the Friars Club in Beverly
Oh, no
Hills.
kidding. That's fun.
Yeah, which was a $40 a night
Okay.
job.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
not
yeah.
a great gig.
Right.
I mean, Comedy Store was $5 an hour.
Whoa.
It was
Okay.
bad. It was
Yeah.
bad, but you do the job.
You do it.
'cause
You do
you're
it.
trying
Yeah,
to be in
absolutely.
the place, right? So, anyways, in my trunk I had a Ray Charles handbook, music book. That, and I went back in, and then my headshot was half sepia tone, half regular color. Like my resume had handwritten stuff on it. It was
Right.
not super professional.
Yeah.
And I went in for Tara Rubin, the casting director, and Jason Moore, who went on to direct Pitch Perfect,
Okay. Yeah.
and sang What I Say by Ray Charles, and finished. They looked at each other. They looked back at me. And Tara was like, "We've been looking for you for 3 years.
Nice.
We've traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
You're literally exactly what we've been looking for." And I was like,
Nice.
"How so?" They're like, "You're a comedian. You're Canadian, like Mike Myers,
Right.
and you can sing those notes.
Right.
Like, those are notes that are like very hard. That we really haven't found someone like." You could be great for this. Can you come back tomorrow, and can you do a Shrek voice? And I was like, "I guess so." "For what part?" And they were like, "For Shrek." And I was like, "You're not going to cast me for Shrek." And
Right.
like I said out loud. I was
Right.
like, "You're not going to cast me for Shrek. I'm not famous."
Right.
And they were like, "Well, we're considering going with an unknown."
Got it.
And I was like, "Okay." And so on the drive home, I went by this video store in North Hollywood, bought a DVD copy of Shrek,
Of course.
thinking I'm never seeing this money again.
Right.
I'm losing $20.
Right.
Went home, sat there, watched it all the way through, and then after watching it all the way through, went back and started studying it. Watched it 4 more times overnight, and then the next day I came in with a Shrek impression and did it. And then they were like, "Oh, we need you to come back in next week on Tuesday," or whatever. And I was like, "Okay." 32 callbacks.
Come on. Are you kidding?
32.
And you did them. At what
Yeah.
point did you go, enough?
Never.
Never.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's a lot.
Once I heard the music
Yeah, okay.
of the show,
Mhm.
I was like, "I'm gonna do this show. I'm
32.
gonna 32. And sometimes I'd come in. They set me up with a voice coach, Bob Garrett, who's like one of the best voice coaches in America.
Yeah.
So I would work with him, and I'd walk into his place as like Paris Hilton was leaving. Like it was like Cameron Diaz would be there rehearsing, and he had the women that were doing Chicago, like I think Chicago or Grey Gardens. Anyways, it was intense.
Sure.
I was just, working really hard. And then at the Comedy Store, which I owe everybody forever for this, comics like Godfrey and Chappelle once, Bobby Lee did it. And then a bunch of like up and coming guys would read my lines with me and give me notes on how to make it funnier. And,
there you go.
I got better and better and better. And then I went in for a final. Oh, and these callbacks, by the way, I'd go in and the people in the callbacks, first it's Janine Tesori, then, who wrote Thoroughly Modern Millie. Then it's like Janine Tesori and David Lindsay Abaire. David won the Pulitzer for writing Rabbit Hole.
Right.
So he's writing the book for it.
Right.
Then Jeffrey Katzenberg is there. Then Sam Mendes, our other producer's there. Then David Geffen is there.
Right.
And Bill Damashki, like it just keeps becoming bigger and bigger and bigger rooms.
Yeah.
Until the room is literally packed with amazing people. And then I had a final callback. I'm not just trying to drag this out.
Bring
it's
it.
Really crazy.
Yeah.
Final callback. It was me and two other guys, and they're filming it. They're camera crew. And this camera guy from DreamWorks turns to this one guy, and he goes, "There's only three of us." And he goes, "So, Michael, why do you think you should be playing this role in front of us?" And Michael goes, "Well, I just won the Tony, and this feels like the natural order of things for me.
Right.
I love the show, love the music, love the everybody, and I just feel like I'm a good fit for this." And they go to the next guy. They go, "Greg, what about you?" And he goes, "Well, I was nominated for a Tony, and it's not like I just walked in off the street," pointing at me.
All right.
I just walked in off the street. I'm a talented guy. These songs they mean so much to me. And I've always felt like an affinity for these characters and and then they get to me and they go, "Stephen, how do you feel about your competition?" And I said, "For them to be my competition, they'd have to be good. I'm just better." And the camera guy laughed and they both kind of shrunk down.
I bet they did.
And then I went in and then I got it.
Yeah.
And they gave me the part. And it was like I had to grab my ego basically and be like, I'm going to ride this,
Right.
don't mess with me. Like I was ready to fight. Like I wanted that damn thing.
Sure.
And I wanted it more than anything I've ever wanted in my life. And then I got it. And then literally it was insane. They picked me up out of my absolute apartment in Encino,
Right.
where I lived with two guys. We had a broken couch. It was a bad scene. And they moved me from that to 58th Avenue, 58th and 5th, overlooking Central Park.
Nice.
Connected to the Plaza Hotel. In this amazing, beautiful place with my own doorman. I had my own driver taking me to and from the 42nd Street studios every day. I got to work with Sutton Foster.
It's a freaking dream.
Oh, it was a lifelong dream fulfilled of getting to work every day with amazing people. And
well, fortune favors the bold, right?
well, it was definitely. I was definitely a little bold in my pushing and fighting for it. But and I used everything I possibly could to make it work, And then I get in there, and on my first day, Tim Weil, the musical director, has me in, and he's like, "All right, so we're gonna have you sing," and I was like, "Okay," and he wanted me to. They had asked me to learn. This is such a funny story. They asked me to learn the song "I'll Be" by Edwin McCain.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because it was the director's favorite song.
Okay.
So I learn the song, I sing it,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is good. We see
Yeah.
where your range is a little bit." Funny story is I posted me singing "I'll Be" on TikTok. Edwin McCain hit me up and was like, "Dude, I auditioned to play Shrek in Shrek the Musical with you. We auditioned. I did not get it. And you got it, and they made you sing my song. What is that about? Like, that's so
astounding.
crazy.
I love that.
So him and I are like texty friends where we sometimes, which is so bizarre.
Yeah. His
Just a-
drummer and I know each other pretty well.
He's
so,
amazing.
Yeah.
He just played, I think he just played Grand Ole Opry or
Probably.
something.
Yeah, probably.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
He's so talented.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Tim Weil, our musical director, was like, "Oh, let's get you singing a Broadway song. What do you want to sing? What shows off your range?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll do one song, Glory from Rent."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I go, "Yeah."
Why not?
And he goes, "Why that one?" I go, "Because I kick that one's ass. Like I just know, I know that
You
song.
are
I know
writing
how to
that.
rock
You
it
go,
out.
"Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like, let's
there you go."
do this."
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right." And so we sing one song, Glory.
Yeah.
And I finish, and he goes, "Thank God that was good." And I go, "Why is that?" He goes, "Because I'm the musical director of Rent.
Rent? Oh
since
my gosh.
day one. Since the Broadway workshops and readings of Rent.
Yeah.
His name's in the sheet music."
Right.
And I didn't
Put it together.
I was so embarrassed and felt horrible. On everything else that I've worked on, because I worked on this movie called Storks.
Yeah, right.
For I worked on Storks for
Pigeon Toady.
Yeah. I worked on that for 3 years.
Oh,
And
you're kidding.
Yeah.
That was a
time.
3-year gig?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Long time.
I didn't know that.
All the development and
Right,
all that
okay.
kind of stuff. But what I really learned from doing Shrek
Mm-hmm.
that paid off on Storks was two things. Number one, find out who everybody is.
Yeah.
And like everybody,
Yeah, right.
like art guys, special effects guys that are, doing punch up, the assistant to the director, the assistant to the writer. Learn everyone's name and then research out of everybody's stuff, because then you become a fan of everyone that you're working
Right.
with. People sometimes that not everybody would even know is like that to be a fan of. Like John Venzen.
I know it.
Do you know who he is?
I don't.
John Venzen was our editor on Storks.
Okay.
He was also the editor on South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
There you go.
And his resume outside of that, like he did David Lynch movies and stuff. Like he's got a crazy career. So like getting to know who he was also then helped me become friends,
Sure.
become friendly with him. And now, it's like, it's a nice thing to be able to like get to appreciate what everybody does and what their histories mean.
Absolutely.
Because if you're only sitting around thinking about yourself and your job in it, then it kind of like it kind of feels like you're missing the point of
Sure.
of the experience a little bit.
Sure.
And that was one thing. And then the other stupid thing about, not stupid, but the other important thing about Storks from Shrek was I thought when I got Shrek, I fully believed that I was going to play the part, Broadway readings, workshops, and then on Broadway all the way through the end. I didn't even see any of it as being a possibility to not be a part of something.
Right.
I was like, oh, I do the soundtrack, I do this, whatever. Well, turns out that was not the case, and I was fired from Shrek and replaced with Brian Darcy James, who's a very famous
I do know
Broadway
who that is.
actor.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to the donkey and the dragon. They got rid of the dragon and replaced her with some other thing. Doing that was very heartbreaking and sad.
Sure.
But so then when I got Storks, I was like, I am going to just be happy with every time I go in. I'm going to be grateful for that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, the next time I get called in, I'm going to be happy about that. And if there's a day where someone else, if Jonah Hill takes my part, then I get to tell everybody, guess what? Jonah Hill took my part. How
Sure.
crazy is that?
Sure.
And that'll be part of that story. And that's enough,
Yeah, yeah.
And then I ended up getting to ride it out the whole way for 3 years, all the way into it being in the movies.
I
And
love that.
getting to work with everybody in the end. And that was really cool.
There's a drummer named Kenny Aronoff.
Yeah.
And Kenny, the joke amongst drummers is you've made it when you've been replaced by Kenny.
Right.
And it's true. I've been replaced by Kenny twice, actually. And it just sort of happens. It's part of the process of this whole thing, of this whole career path, is that when you're rising up through the ranks, even if you're already there, the chances of someone else replacing you might not have anything to do with you, your performance, might have everything to do with something that other person, maybe the director wants something from this other person, or it's a name or a look or whatever.
Yeah.
Might not have anything to do with your abilities as a performer.
No. And that's why, like, these days, like, I've heard a lot of actors say this, that the audition is the job. Like, if you think of the only time that you're an actor is when you're actually on set filming, you're going to be very depressed for a long time.
sure.
So, and I've really tried to make it so that, like, I don't feel that way. I'm like every time I audition for anything, I'm like, I did an audition today.
Nice.
Yeah. Right.
The all-new GrooveDinerAfterDark.com is your home for all the things that groove. Watch live episodes, visit the archives, check out the YouTube channel, learn more about your host. Own some merchandise. We've got it all under one roof. Updates will continue to roll out throughout the season, including video drum lessons, industry coaching, production tips, and much more. Tune in for the show, then visit the website each and every week so that you can answer that most important question. Do you groove?
I have a good time with that whole commercial. It's really fun because I sit there and I kind of groove along. It just makes me do this. I don't really even know why, but it does. Oh, man. So like I said, that first half of the interview with Glickman was, très magnifique. Wait till you see the second half. I want to say some hellos to some folks. I see Charles Anderson. How are things down in South Africa, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Toby Simmons right here in Encino, California. Good to have you with us, as always. Charles, what did you ask here? Is NHL and Canadian ice hockey on the same level as far as intensity of playing? I think probably so, since there are Canadian NHL teams and the NHL plays in Canada, so they're along the same lines. They're both professional. Herman Matthews, my friend, welcome. And yes, motorcycles. Glad to have you. Jared Weisfellner, he just says, Glickman. I like it. Jared is actually associate producer of Big Time Rush, so welcome to the show. It's glad to have you with us tonight, my friend. Who else we got here? Toby. Yeah, that is a very cool and fun career that he has had. It's just Stephen has been such a blast to get to know over the past few years, and the man is always on and up. It's really great fun to just hang out with him, like I said earlier. Some of the things that he's talking about, and one of my favorite parts of that whole first half. Whenever you're on a job, whatever it is, whatever gig is, on a set, on a studio session, get to know everybody. It matters so much. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got was from Charlie Adams, the drummer of Yanni. He said when he first got the gig doing the bigger stadiums, he learned who the monitor mix people were and found out what kind of wine they liked. So at every stop, he would have a bottle of their favorite wine just for them. And he said his monitor mixes were perfect the entire season, the entire tour. And, it's pretty good advice, just getting to know these things, because you never know when a monitor mixer is going to become the front of house person or the musical director or whatever. Because as Steven's career path has shown you, these things are incredibly intertwined. We all do so many different things. If you had asked me, when I was 15 years ago, would I have music in the Super Bowl? I would have been like, what are you even talking about? I play drums. Little do you know, it's so funny to me when you find those things out. Doug Sickman, he's here. He's an old friend of mine from Alabama. Nice to see you. I assume you're still in Louisiana these days, Doug. Do I still have Carter Beauford's hi-hats? Yes, I do. They're over in that closet over there. I do still have that pair of 13s that he gave me. They are the wrong brand, so I don't play them anymore. But they're collectibles that I'm going to keep forever. That's definitely a cool thing. Good to hear from you, man. I'm glad you're here and hanging out with us tonight. Beyond that, I'd like to ask you to please do me a favor. Subscribe to our channels, especially the YouTube channel. We're trying to make the move over to YouTube kind of permanent, but we've got to get more subscribers over there. So as quickly as you can do that, Groove Diner After Dark, go to YouTube and find us there, and just click that subscribe button. I know that's kind of what people talk about all the time is please like and subscribe and hit the bell, blah, whatever. Just do me a favor and subscribe, would you? I'd appreciate it. It definitely helps us because we try hard to keep this thing happening. David Dirks has joined us tonight. Hey, David, good to see you here, man. I think you might find out a little bit more about David Dirks here in just a few minutes. That's good to have you here with us tonight. So let's roll back into this thing. Part 2 is upcoming, and it's got some really fun moments that you're definitely not going to want to miss. And we're going to begin with the very thing that brought Glickman out of Big Time Rush and into the world of music and brought his consciousness, the consciousness of everyone. And by the way, Stephen is with us tonight. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask him specifically, hit it up. And Glickman can answer it for you live. Anyway, we're gonna get directly into the video for Crazy. We're gonna dive right into that and let you see what he was able to create.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions had an echo and so much space. When you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. Ooh, but it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Probably. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. But think twice. That's my only advice. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on now. Who do you think you are? Ha, ha, ha. Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. Oh, my heroes had the heart to lose their lives out on a limb. This thing, I wanna be like them. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. Ooh, but no coincidence I'll come. And I can die when I'm done. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, maybe you're crazy. Well, maybe we're crazy.
Well, let's
on to
not bury
next
the
thing.
lead with Big Time Rush.
Oh yeah. Oh, Big Time Rush. Yes, yes,
Gustavo
yes. Gustavo Rock. Yes, it was quite a thing.
Biggest role, obviously.
It was a bit. It was yeah.
How many seasons did you last there?
Four.
Four.
Four in a movie.
Four in a movie, right? Okay.
You bet. 4 seasons in a movie.
Yeah, that role, Natalie and I, my wife and I, we watched a few episodes recently because we're not exactly the target demographic of the age.
What?
Yeah, I know. But it made you something of an icon among millennials and Gen Zers, if they're not the same thing. But it made you a bit of a social icon. What is that like for you to be walking through wherever? We were eating wings and the waitress knew who you were. You know,
Yeah.
I've watched it happen to you just when we've been hanging out. What's that like for you?
I mean, it's a wonderful thing.
Of course.
It is. I think about the fan base that I have as I do all the things that I do in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helped me live like a bit of a healthier, maybe in some ways
I get
life.
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I try to make choices thinking about how they would react to stuff sometimes. It doesn't stop me from trying other things, but they're definitely in my thoughts and in my mind a lot. I've had some run-ins with people who are like the foundation of who I am as a human being.
No kidding.
Which is a different type of experience.
Okay.
Like I was on a red carpet and with our friend David Dirks.
Yes.
And it was Secret Life of Pets 2.
Okay.
And I look across the carpet, and getting out of his car is Harrison Ford.
Oh, come on.
And I go, oh my God, it's Harrison Ford. I go, I can't believe it's Harrison
Yeah.
Ford. I go, oh my God. I'm like, I had his toy when I was a
Right.
kid, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I still have it, but like I had it when I was a kid,
Right.
played with it all the time. I'm like, I can't believe he's right there. He's like right there. And he gets onto the carpet and then he's doing interviews and I'm kind of like watching him and he looks over at me while he's like talking on an interview and he looks over at me and kind of just like continues. And I was like, you made eye contact with me. Like I saw his eyeballs.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. His eyeballs saw my eyeballs.
Right.
I'm pretty sure his eyeballs saw my eyeballs. And David's like, oh, you're a big fan, are you? Big fan. I go, yeah. I can't believe it. And I turn away and I start talking to somebody else. And I'm talking to someone over here. And David
Of course he did.
goes over to
I knew
Harrison
what was
Ford,
coming.
And he goes, my friend would love to take a picture with you.
Yeah.
Would you mind? He's an actor, whatever. I said, sure. I'm standing talking to this person here. And then I feel a tap. And I look and Harrison Ford's face is here. And he goes, you want to take a picture together?
Nice.
And I go, yes, I do.
Yes.
And he puts his arm around me
Nice.
and he goes, the guy takes the picture.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, kid, I got to go watch this stupid movie. And then walked away. And I was like, this is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Oh my gosh, it was so
Yeah.
amazing. And then the other one was I went to a movie premiere and another one, and Mark Hamill was at it. And I actually cried when I met. I couldn't hold it together.
Right.
He was very nice.
Right.
We had like this moment where we talked very quickly, and I was like, you know, and he was like, you know, and that was it was kind of over fast.
Right,
Remember, it was
right,
sad.
right.
It's over.
That's just incredible. I have this weird thing about my dentist. I met Stan Lee as he was coming out of my dentist office.
Oh my God.
And then years later, I'm at a new dentist. Mark Hamill goes to my dentist.
No!
Yeah, so it's like,
Oh my God.
this is another LA kind of story.
I love it.
It's just crazy, right?
I love that stuff.
Insane. Let's move to music for a second.
Yes. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna do it like a real.
I'm not sure that was a lot different.
George of the jungle, as he can be. Watch out for that tree. Okay.
Tell me about the music. Let's talk about Crazy.
Ugh, good Lord, that was something else.
Yeah, so Crazy obviously is a cover.
Uh-huh.
CeeLo Green, well, not exactly CeeLo Green, but CeeLo Green cover.
Yeah.
Well,
Gnarls
it was
Barkley,
Gnarls Barkley.
See
Yeah.
that, see that.
So what prompted you to choose that song? Let's start with that.
I used to sing that song at the Friars Club when
Really?
I was the piano player.
Just that simple.
I used to sing it all the time back in the day.
Really?
I sang it. There was a Comedy Central show. Some guy had a TV show on Comedy Central, pilot, and I went to it, and they had a piano on the set.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Why don't you sing a song for everybody?" And I sat down and sang "Crazy" for everyone. And I'd sung it a lot, just for fun.
Yeah.
But I always had like my own kind of take on it, And so yeah, I sat down, did one take of me singing and playing piano, doing a cover of "Crazy" by Gnarls Barkley.
And brought in your cello friend.
We brought in my cello friend, and I put a little bit of a music video. We shot a little bit of a music
let's
video.
talk about the little bit of a music video.
Sure.
The music video is you becoming the Joker.
Yeah, it's me turning myself into kind of a Joaquin Phoenix version of the Joker.
Right.
Like that version.
The way that you approached that made the song take on a whole different meaning.
It literally was like I sang the song and then I was listening to it and then I watched the Joker and then I was like, oh, this seems like it could have been something in this,
Yeah.
And I was watching footage of him where he gets beat up and I put that footage to the song and put it up on Twitter and it did like crazy numbers.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, I may have hit like a chord here.
Yeah.
And so then what I always think is when I'm going to shoot a music video or I'm going to shoot, forget just a music video, just a sketch, anything. I think of location first.
Sure.
And, plausibility of how much it's going to cost me to make something, of course, And with Crazy, that whole music video was shot for about $300.
Come on.
Yeah, it was like $400 maybe
No
at the
kidding.
most. I can we did it. Like my camera guy and director did it on spec as a favor to me, which would have cost a bunch of money. The place that we rented to shoot me, the soundstage to put the makeup on, that was I think $100 for a day.
Yeah.
And then I paid Marza a little bit of money, and then we got the subway, and then we were just shooting in dirty alleyways full of graffiti. I mean, I drove downtown a couple of times just scouting alleyways to try to find places that we could go to.
Right.
And downtown LA is disgusting.
It's down and dirty.
And it is dirty. And it looks like it looks like New York City in some ways. Yeah. And certain parts of it really do. And then once you throw in a subway, it really starts to feel, gritty and very much like Joker. So we just kind of run and gunned it and shot around downtown Los Angeles, me and my friends, and put up a little piece of it on TikTok. And it did like, I don't know, 200,000 views or something, 200,000 plays. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty good.
Right.
And then if I could replicate it, I would replicate it all the time.
Yeah.
But you just can't. No. What happened was I posted it, and then a girl named Addison Rae.
Yeah, sure.
Just one of the biggest accounts, second biggest account in the world, was the biggest account at the time. 80 million followers, something like that. She used the song in her friends. Well, her friends are pretty serious friends. Right. And so she used the song. I don't know her. She just used the song and made a thing where it was like her looking straight into camera, and then it would say above her, that time where I did something crazy with my ex-boyfriend, right? To my ex-boyfriend.
Right.
It was like revenge, remembering
music?
a revenge thing that you had done in a relationship.
Yeah.
So she does that. Then Lizzo does it.
Right.
Then Ben Platt does it.
Yep.
then the Daily Mail does it. And all these websites are doing it nonstop. I get notifications every single day from TikTok telling me that another person has made. There's like 99,000 people have made
That's incredible.
videos. It has right now. I'll read you this. I'll tell you the stat while we're sitting here because the stat is something else. Crazy Talkboard. We go to Talkboard. It is at currently 632 million plays.
That's incredible.
632,764,046 plays.
That's twice the population of the United States.
It's an insane
That's
thing.
really, talk about viral videos.
Viral. I mean, that went super viral.
Wow. It amazes me that all of your acting gigs led to this one moment with Crazy becoming something that went really a different direction than I think you had any idea.
Yeah, I did not expect that to be the case. I thought that I was making like something kind of fun, and like nowadays I think about everything in terms of like content. So, songs, I host a game show on the street.
Right.
I do all sorts of, I do podcast interviews. If we're not capturing it, where then I can take that, like I go to events, I capture the whole thing and post it on social media. Like, so much of my business of how I make a living now is based off of my social media, which is insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also it's a factual.
Yeah, but how many TikTok followers do you have?
1.9 million.
There you go. So 2 million followers, really.
Oh, very close.
Yeah, that's
not yet. Almost.
There you go. I mean, that's insanity, right?
But there. I'm doing like 25 million video plays a month or something crazy like
there you
that.
Go.
So.
Okay, so we're doing a new piece of music together.
I mean, that's really the big thing.
Yeah, right.
You and I we did a cover together.
Yeah.
You produced the hell out of it. It is amazing.
Thank you.
It is. I will tell everybody at home. It is a cover of "Call Me by Your Name," Montero by Lil Nas X. Kind of done in the style of like spaghetti western, Johnny Cash, kind of like it's really, really cool.
It's very cool. It is.
Like we kind of came to it kind of, like
organically.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was a cover that like I had done at the piano a couple times by myself, being like, ooh, I kind of want to do something like this. And then I brought it to you and I was like, well, what if we tried this? What if we did that? And I'm like trying to beat something, here's the beat. It's like, like I'm playing it on my
that
belly.
conga over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you crushed it, and it is really cool.
Thanks, man. I really like the idea of it. I mean, the germ was totally yours, and where it started when you brought it in to where it is now, it's the collaboration of everybody. I mean, who's on bass?
Oh, Casey Abrams.
You can't not say that name.
Casey Abrams is on bass. Soren Cressell is our guitarist on it.
Right.
It's beautiful, and you crush it on the drums.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I love you since I knew you. I wouldn't talk down to you. I have to tell you just how I feel. I won't share you with another boy. I know my mind is made up. Put away your makeup. Tell you once, I will tell you again. It's the wrong way. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
So here's something that I ask everyone that comes in. Because you're a triple threat. Yeah. Singer, dancer. I haven't seen you dance, but
I'm a
singer,
terrible dancer.
actor, incredible pro drummer.
Oh yeah.
Right. A comedian. Give me 4, your Mount Rushmore of biggest influences, your Rushmore of influences on your career.
Okay. Biggest influences.
Your Mount Rushmore of influences.
Okay, Phil Tippett is up there. Sculptor responsible for a lot of the creature designs.
Oh, that guy.
Rancor,
Okay,
all
totally
that
got
kind
it.
of stuff. Star Wars.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Eli knows that for sure. Yeah,
Love,
yeah.
I'm a gigantic Phil Tippett fan.
Nice.
I feel like the tactical, like creature type stuff and alien stuff from those movies is really what attached my heart to them.
Certainly.
It's the thing I've collected the most of, so I'm a huge fan there. Stan Lee probably is another one. Musically, Elton John, 100%.
Yeah.
And then my mom. I'll put my mom up there.
Of course.
Absolutely. My sister.
Yeah.
I'll put my
She's
sister
in a
up there
band.
too. She's in a band. She's in the band Hey King.
Yeah, right.
She's super talented.
Yeah.
Love watching her perform. She's a musical genius.
Nice.
Like makes me kind of be like, oh, I want to do cool things too. Who else?
Well,
Who else?
Rushmore's only 4, so you're good.
Oh, I did it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
All right. Well, there you
there.
go.
We're at like 6 or 7 already.
Yeah.
It's hard to narrow it though. When you ask for the 4, it's really hard to narrow because we're all so influenced by so many people.
I'd throw Robin Williams in there too.
So I could see that.
Because as a voice person and as a comedian, he definitely very influential.
Sure,
definitely
sure.
someone I look up to a lot. Still look up to. Okay.
Okay, so these are simple questions like cat or dog.
Dog.
That's an easy one for you, right?
Yeah.
Money or happiness?
Happiness.
Yeah, right. Hip hop or rock?
Ooh. Rock?
Yeah.
Says the guy wearing the Aussie shirt.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
wearing an
right.
Aussie shirt, but I'll say this, man. Hip hop gets me pretty jazzed up when I've got a big meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot. Wu-Tang Clan is the first thing I
Well,
turn
yeah,
to.
okay.
You know, rock is like celebratory.
Right.
Hip hop is like gets the engine moving.
Got it.
You know what I
Okay,
mean? Like if I need to be revved up, I go to hip hop. If I need to celebrate, I go to rock.
If I need to be revved up, I go to Simon and Garfunkel. No joke. Wow. I know. I don't get it either. Texting or talking?
Talking.
Yeah, I knew that about you because you're more of a call. You call me more than you text
I
me.
hate texting.
Yeah, yeah. New York style or Chicago deep dish?
New York.
You're wrong on that one.
That's okay.
What's the last song you downloaded?
I'll tell you. I'm currently listening to Black Bear.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right.
Very cool artist. Getting into it.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, he's badass.
Who's your first celebrity crush?
First celebrity crush?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Harrison Ford.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh,
I
that's
think, Saved by the
worthy.
Bell.
That's worthy. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal.
Have you ever worn socks with sandals?
Probably.
Oh,
I know I'm bad at life.
Shawshank or Godfather?
Oh,
Yeah.
Godfather.
Oh, okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at ping pong?
Ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
6.
That's pretty good.
I'm okay.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I've had a ping pong table.
Have
so
you? Okay.
I feel like I'm pretty good.
Give me one guilty pleasure.
Ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant, which makes it even more.
That does
guilty.
change things when you're lactose
Yeah.
intolerant.
Oh yeah. I still do it, and I'll break out because of it.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll still do it.
See, for me, that would be either 90210, the original, or Barry Manilow. Those are guilty pleasures for me.
Well, I mean, 90210, obviously. I mean, you're wearing Dylan's jacket.
Right? Popped collar and all, man.
So great.
Yeah, right?
It's like, it's been a pleasure, Jason Priestley. Thank you for having me.
You are
on the
very
show.
welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Last and but certainly not least, this is a friendship defining question.
Okay.
What is your favorite Rick Springfield song?
I gotta say, Highway to Hell. Good enough answer?
That works for me.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It's great having you here.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. There it is. The solo.
I'm very good at drums. Drums.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks.
Groove Diner After Dark, the store. Get your official Groove Diner merchandise by visiting our new store at GrooveDinerAfterDark.com. Coffee mugs, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, pint glasses, stickers. Now you can show your support of Groove Diner After Dark from head to toe. Simply visit our website or click the link in this video description and get your gear today. Thank you for your support.
Hey, look, it's great to have everybody with you. I'm seeing Veronica Ebert is here from Down Under. Thank you for joining us from Australia. Justin Scheidling, I need to see a Gibbons versus Glickman ping pong match. Glickman, let's make it happen. We got to do what we got to do, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. Let's see what else we've got here. Toby says she's giggling at both of us sharing our fanboy experiences. How could we not be fans? I mean, that's the whole point, right? We are such fans of everything that we do and the people that we'd get to do it with. And I'm a fan of Stephen Kramer Glickman. I mean, come on, how can I not be a fan of him? And getting to play a little together. You saw that little clip of us down in Hollywood playing a bit of Roxanne, so that was a lot of fun that particular night. Several of you commented about what a great singer he is. And yeah, that song and the way that he approached Crazy, I mean, I understand why it went viral. That was just absolutely incredible. The video itself was something to behold. You know, the concept of it, the way that he decided to make it about the Joker, particularly Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, that in and of itself was it's just kind of an amazing thing. Yeah, Doug Sookman, yes, Barry Manilow, Copacabana, it's true. I love me some 90210 and Barry Manilow. My wife took me to see Barry Manilow when he was last here in LA at the Staples Center before they changed the name to something stupid. And it was really funny to me because I was sitting there and one of the songs came on and I just like started to cry. And my wife's like, really? And I looked at her and said, I don't know if I'm going to make it. That's how much I love Barry Manilow. So I guess that makes me a Fanilow, doesn't it? Hey, I'd wear my Fanilow shirt to an AC/DC concert. What would I do about it? You know, I sometimes you just got to do those things. Thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight. Thank you especially to Stephen Kramer Glickman for being my guest and for having me play a little music with him here and there. Stephen is leaving for a tour of some college campuses this week. And if you happen to be out on the road and you get a chance to see him, I suggest you go see him. He and Soren are going to be doing kind of a duo thing. You'll want to check it out if you're around. Check out his schedule on his, I guess it's on his TikTok as well as all of his social media, so you can find out where he's playing. I know he's playing Louisville, Kentucky, right around the corner. So my friends that are in the South, get over there and check him out. You're going to want to see the concert. Definitely worth your time. Thank you to everybody that's been here with us tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We could really use the help, and we appreciate you guys for everything you do. Charles, I'm really glad you enjoyed his stuff tonight in particular. You've been very complimentary all night long. So thanks again for hanging in there and watching the show with us. And we have this song that he mentioned that we've done together, Montero. It's almost finished, and I think you're going to really like it once it's done. So keep your eyes out for that. I don't know when we're going to release it, but it'll be certainly before the summer. So hopefully you'll enjoy that when it comes out. All right, until then, I will see you next week. We have a different kind of show because Mr. Eli over there, he's got to go to Hawaii. Oh boy, yay. He's got to spend some time in Hawaii. What, 2 weeks or something stupid?
Just a week.
A week? Yeah, okay. So he's got to go be with his family down there, like they're more important than the show.
They are.
Yeah, right. He says that. So next week we're going to have a fun show. As you know, last season when I was on the road, we did a what we call a clip show where I had people send in videos and we got a chance to watch and see some specific answers to specific questions. This upcoming week I asked them, what do you love about playing drums? Or what do you love about being a comedian or whatever? And the answers have been a lot of fun. So tune in next week, same time, 9 p.m. Pacific, and you're going to really enjoy checking that one out. Until then, I'll see you on the flip side. Do you guys even know what a flip side is? I don't even know anymore. Would anybody know what a flip side is? Do I know what a flip side is? I don't know. Get us out of here, Eli.
Good night, everybody.